English translation. 199th contact. Sunday, 3rd of February, 1985, 02.18 hours.
So I have to say that this is a huge surprise that you come here, my friend. Actually, I expected Quetzal because he told me in the last conversation that he would come on the 3rd of February. He also said that he would report some more things to me about the future.
Unfortunately, he is unavailable. On the other hand, he urged me to see you again and to exchange a few words with you. But what Quetzal explained concerning the revelation of future events, I would like to bring to word that it would probably be better to omit this, because we have gained the knowledge that such predictions produce no good fruit, but rather only anxieties and confusion.
Pity, but maybe in this regard I can knock again at a later time.
Our answer will probably be the same.
We will see.
You will have to recognize it. But now, I would like to make you well aware that from now on, we will keep our contact conversations short, namely, for your health's sake. For the time being, you can no longer record our discussions, as Quetzal already explained to you, but it should be that we will transmit these to you at a later date if your health allows it again. But the way I see things, a very long time will elapse until then, if it happens at all, because your physical condition is extremely unpleasant, and I would even like to say catastrophic, if I want to use your words.
It will certainly return to me, for I have no intention to kick the bucket already. Namely, all kinds of work wait for me, which I have to take care of.
But it is doubtful as to whether you are still able to do these.
Do not be so pessimistic.
That I am not, but I know about your actual health condition. And that is why it is a mystery to me that you are still working, and that you even brought the work OM to an end.
You see, it cannot be so bad at all.
You like to minimize.
As you mean. I beg to differ, for I just think that I must pull myself together and do my work. Somehow I will make it.
As I know, your doctor, Dr. Flaxman, also told you that he could not help you and that from now on, you have to be concerned about the treatment of your illness and about finding the necessary medication. Thus, you actually minimize your condition since your doctor already knows no more. And indeed, it would be appropriate that you would let me give you some help.
You know very well that I do not want that, which is why you also should not address it. I do not want to have any more rights than any other Earth person.
I already know these words of yours, and it will probably remain so that you will not want to allow yourself some help.
You are absolutely right about that. But now, it would be very nice if we could stray from this subject because firstly, I do not like it, and secondly, I have another question or two, since you are already here.
As you wish. State your questions.
Thank you. Now, it concerns the fact that my doctor told me, as, by the way, also various other people, among whom are also the core group members, that I must drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water or tea, etc., a day for health reasons because this is necessary for humans. But on my side, I cannot remember ever having to drink so much, not even in the desert, where it was always very hot. I was always content with a small cup of hot tea, or with an Arabic, respectively Turkish, small coffee. Also, it is only rare that I am really thirsty, and then drink a little more than usual. But I still feel good, and cannot complain about having any discomfort as a result of the little I drink. However, other people constantly say that they take several liters of fluid a day because it must be like that. What do you think about this, as a doctor?
The fluid needs from person to person are basically different, so one needs more than the other.
But that does not quite answer my question. Moreover, I would yet like to say that sometimes I do not take any fluid for several days, if I disregard 1 or 2 cups of coffee. Sometimes I even omit that.
That is well known to me. But for further explanation, I would like to say that in general, a false notion prevails on the earth, particularly with the medical profession, that larger amounts of fluid are of importance for human needs. But this is only partially the case because this only relates to human beings who indicate a greater need for fluid. But individually, this is very different. So there are humans whose daily need for fluid is very high, while others get by on very little and perceive the drinking of water or tea, as well as other liquids, as torture if they have to drink such without a real thirst. But no thirst means that the body does not need any fluid, etc., not even for the washing out of toxic substances, etc. Yet if more is drunk than what thirst requires or what is mandatory for reasons of illness, then this can cause discomfort or even damage to health.
That is clear to me, and in fact, I always feel uncomfortable when I must drink something without actually being thirsty. I actually have to force myself constantly to drink a glass of tea or water with my oral medication, because the liquid chokes me due to the lack of thirst, and often makes me downright gasp for air.
That is understandable to me, but you probably will not be able to avoid taking some liquid with which you must wash down the medicines. Thus you have to get along with the choking, as you call it. But do not let yourself, through wrong opinions, be forced to take in larger amounts of fluid each day if your thirst does not demand it. The view that each day the human requires at least 2 to 3 liters of liquid or even more corresponds to an irrational teaching that, if followed, could lead to bad health problems. Such a need for fluid, in reality, only applies to a portion of all people, but the causes for this are illness-conditioned or are based in reasons of a genuine thirst, due to warmth and heat or due to the perspiring exertion of the body, with which I also address the corresponding work.
Thank you for your remarks. May I ask you another question?
Certainly. However, it should be the last one for today for your health's sake. You can then report other questions to Quetzal because he will continue to maintain official contact with you.
I will be guided accordingly. My question is this. Even though officially no more predictions should be made, could it be possible that these are, at least, explained to me confidentially? Already since the beginning of our contacts, we have always discussed whatever private and other things, and we have discussed things that were not held in writing in the contact conversations, and that also were not transmitted by you. Can this not continue to remain so?
The situation should remain as it was before. Only, during the next few years, you will not be able to talk with me officially but only unofficially, and only in an official form with Quetzal. Yet perhaps others will still visit you, but this is not exactly certain yet because on my part, I will first come to you again personally when your health condition has actually improved. However, this will take several months, if ever. But my absence has nothing to do with you or your health and illness, because for the next 5 months, I will be absent because I have to accomplish a task in the Dal universe with Asket's people during that time, which will keep me from staying, even briefly, in our Dern universe. Quetzal will be my representative with regard to my position, but also in reference to the contact maintenance with you, at least for a certain time.
Ah, now you have betrayed yourself.
I do not understand.
You mentioned that it would, perhaps, be doubtful whether my health condition will improve again. But you just said that you will first visit me again when my health condition has actually improved again. Therefore, you know exactly that this will be the case at a certain time, and that I will actually rise up again, which would have to be the case in about 5 months, if I have exactly understood your words.
Despite your vile state of health, you are very attentive as usual and interpret my words accordingly, as they are actually meant. but it was not my intention to refer you to the deeper meaning of my words. And in fact, I was of the view that your attention and perception were so impaired that you would not grasp the deeper meaning of my remarks. I was mistaken in that. Yes, I know that you will bring all your powers to use in order to improve your health and to fulfill your mission, yet, in spite of everything, to the best of your ability. And you will accomplish a lot, and up to the end of this century, you will actually exceed yourself in your work, so in the coming time, you will do more than what was planned. However, in the coming time, this will also be true of the group members, who will achieve much through their commitment. Nevertheless, several of the newly appearing members will not be as fond of commitment as the group members who energetically cooperate since the first construction work of the center and the mission. Unfortunately, with some of these future members of the group, there will also be evasions of duty, for which untrue excuses and assertions will also be given. However, we will keep you informed about that, so that you are always informed about the true state of affairs. Only you should not let your knowledge become known to the fallible ones.
I will abide by that. So once again, you have held a future review because otherwise you could not know all these things.
Your words correspond to the truth. This had to be my action in relation to this because it was important for us to know whether the contacts will be further maintained and whether the mission can still actually come to its fulfillment.
Ah, then you have still seen and understood other things. How does it stand, then, with my struggle with alliances? Shall it continue until the end of my life?
That will not be the case because after the middle of the 90s, this load will no longer oppress you, and from 1990 onwards, you will find new good fortune.
And what should this good fortune be?
I will tell you that when, for my part, I officially resume contact with you. Entirely provided that in the meantime you do not remember what it concerns. But now it is time for me to go, my friend. Until we meet again in a little over 5 months. My best wishes and thoughts are with you.
Then until we meet again in 5 months, the time is so short and will pass away quickly, at least for you. As for me...
Indeed, you will still have to fight hard battles up to our reunion. Also, you will still experience many disappointments with your spouse because, as always, she treacherously works against you, even though she is outwardly loyal, honest, and connected with you and your mission. But you should regard all this as your knowledge alone, and should only speak of it when everything has smoothed and regulated itself.
However, you have striven very much for everything and got very deeply involved in the investigations.
With that, you speak a true word, but my action was necessary because we had to have clarity, for only then can everything be continued by us and your mission actually be accomplished. Quetzal is oriented about the remaining interests in every detail, and it will be he who will still explain everything to you exactly. But for today, that should really be enough because everything is extremely strenuous for you. Your skin color has already turned gray again. So now I will take my leave. See you in 5 months.
Please pay Simya say my dearest greetings. Naturally also Asket and Nera, if you already go over there.
It will be my pleasure. But now until we meet again.
Take care, bye-bye.